How often do we miss the gifts right in front of us? Failing to notice the sunlight on the ocean, or the seashells that wash in with the tide, forgetting how quickly this life slips away, here for one moment and gone the next. But tucked away in a coastal town lives a man who has mastered the art of noticing and making meaning of this fleeting life. My name is Chelsea Putnam, and as an artist living in an age of AI and mass production, I've been searching for the answer to one question. What's the point of making anything? I knew there must be a deeper purpose to creativity, beyond just the end product. So I set out to spend time with the people who devote their whole lives to their craft and find true fulfillment, each one revealing the hidden answer in doing what we love. These are their stories, and this is Made on Earth. How do we make meaning in a world where nothing lasts? For Jim Olarte, the answer begins here, on the beach at low tide, where the ocean temporarily reveals hidden treasures of fiberglass, seashells, and kelp, otherwise invisible to the eye and easily washed away by the sea. But to Jim, they are the beginning of a new possibility.
Sometimes I think that the things, yes, I'm finding them, but they also are finding me. They actually reveal themselves to me so that I'll pick them up, and they'll get to be incorporated into my work. I mean, sometimes the stuff does come to you in a very strange way.
Jim's studio honors the ordinary things he finds at the beach, brought together to become something entirely new. His work is known worldwide, redefining sculptural art through found items and thousands of feet of rope tied into giant macrame sculptures. It's like stepping into a whole new world.
I feel like I found a medium that nobody was working in. I mean, nobody really saw it as like a viable medium because nobody really saw it.
Jim's eye for these fragments makes me wonder what it even takes for a person to notice these things.
They're all fiberglass from shipwrecked boats. All these pieces were found in the same cove from the same boat, but over a period of like 6 or 7 years. So eventually, I had enough to be able to make a statement.
With each art piece, Jim both replicates and transforms the ocean.
Well, I'm making my own kelp forest. And people, when they come in, they're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm underwater. It's like, well, good. I succeeded. So many people, when they collect shells, they want the perfect shells. And these are like almost to the point where they're fragments, but then you put them collectively together, then it becomes like this whole universe. And that's the part that I really like. So many of my collections has been picked up piece by piece by piece. You amass and you amass like either information, musical notes or something like that, and then all of a sudden it will tell you what it wants to be done with it. And if you're open and you're there, you're like, there it is right there.
Meaning doesn't begin with making. It begins with noticing. And Jim has practiced that art his whole life, catching the small, fleeting moments that most of us miss.
I spend a lot of time doing solitary things. I go out at night and walk around the neighborhood, listening to the birds. Kind of makes me sad is that everyone's plugged into TV. You walk by people's houses and you see that blue light and stuff. It's like, but look, the last quarter of the moon is up, or the star is up, or something like that. And I mean, so many people aren't seeing those things, or they're not hearing those birds in the bushes, or I don't know. I make myself be aware of those things because I think that you have to give yourself those pleasures.
At 6 a.m. in the studio, The pieces he's gathered wait to become something more. He begins to nod. Hour by hour, he follows his curiosity as it takes shape. The way he creates is the way he lives. Present, focused, and devoted to making something meaningful from the fragments he finds.
If I don't tie it, it's just a pile of rope. And then if I make something out of it, then it becomes something that says something. So right now this is about almost 6 feet. So this will be like what it finishes at.
All the way down there?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm making like an 18-foot piece, but you're building it inch by inch, which kind of is like super zen. My work is very strict, but it's also super loose. I mean, it's strict because I want it to look a certain way, and I want the tension, and I want them to lay correctly. But then there's also like all of a sudden, you know, there's like room for improvisation. And that's like super satisfying as well in your craft, to be able to like somewhat master it and make it do what you want. I'm in control of the rope. It's not in control of me. Be here, be focused, do your work, and do it well. You know, I mean, you can do anything you want, just do it well. Sometimes I'll be in that zone or something and I won't be paying attention. Or sometimes it doesn't work. And then instead of like taking it apart, that must be a sign for me to just continue that particular way. I made a slight mistake. It's going to be beautiful. All the stuff that you've done leads you to where you are now, good and bad. Don't beat yourself up. I take that pretty heavily.
For Jim, creating isn't separate from living. It is living. It's the air he breathes, the act he's devoted his whole life to. Each knot becomes a meditation. A small act of faith that meaning can be made from the ordinary. And watching him, I started to wonder, what drives someone to do this? To spend years with such patience and devote his whole life to this entirely new art medium that he's created.
It's an innate thing in mankind to make something. I mean, we are only here for X amount of time. So, I mean, maybe in some way, like I'm trying to make a craft or a statement that will have said that I lived. It makes me cry sometimes. Just because it's so profound, because like we want other people to know that we were here, you know, and if this is like people are gonna know that I was here because of this or something like that, that's kind of neat. It's kind of bitchin', you know. When I come across like rocks that are covered with moss, I mean, I'll like sit there and like look at it. I take those moments and go like, all right, I'm right here. I'm just gonna like experience all this stuff right now. That is something that you have to give to yourself.
Much like the seaweed in the tide or the waves of the ocean, our lives are only a series of passing moments, made knot by knot, inch by inch. And maybe, just like Jim, we all share the instinct to hold on to it, to see the beauty and impermanence, and make something even more beautiful with it. So that when our time comes to let it all go, we do so knowing we left this world more beautiful than we found it. So then the question becomes, will you choose to see the beauty? What will you make of it? And what will you leave behind to show that you have lived?